how we live our lives? Climate change doesn't just influence how hot or cold it is outside, or how much it will rain. It affects where we live and, more importantly, how we live. To understand just how big of an impact global climate change can have, just look at the islands of the Pacific and Caribbean. These regions are particularly vulnerable to climate change. For coastal regions, an altered climate poses risk to both island inhabitants and their economies. Many island communities have a limited freshwater supply. Tropical storms help to replenish these water sources, so altered storm cycles can change how much and when fresh water is available. In the Caribbean, annual rainfall has already declined and is expected to decrease further. Rising sea levels due to climate change can also threaten the freshwater supply by contaminating precious groundwater. Rising sea levels are of great concern for island communities in other ways too. Flooding is already becoming a more frequent event, and in time, many coastal lands could be lost altogether due to erosion. This can result in the displacement of communities and alter unique coastal ecosystems. Storm events, expected to increase as our global climate continues to warm, pose a serious threat. Intense storm surges can pose risk to property, cause loss of life, and also damage critical infrastructures like bridges and roads. The fear is that if these events, if not counteracted, will become so extreme that certain communities won't be able to recover between storm events. For islands like Hawaii, climate change also poses a risk to two industries crucial to island economies: tourism and fisheries. Yes, global change could impact your favorite vacation spot. Chances are it already has. In Hawaii alone, tourism generated $12.4 billion in revenue, and the Caribbean is one of the most tourism-dependent regions in the world. The erosion of beaches can impact the tourism industry, as can limited water supplies and sustain damage to infrastructure. Increasing water temperatures and ocean acidification in particular are having disastrous effects on the Pacific and Caribbean coral reef systems. Coral reef systems not only attract tourists, but they can help sustain certain fishing communities and provide shoreline protection. The overall economic value of the coral reef system? Over $10 billion. It's estimated that by 2015, the loss of income from dying coral reef systems is in the ballpark of over several $1 million per year. Island communities are also highly dependent on fisheries to feed local populations and their economies. For Pacific Island communities, 25 to 69% of animal protein consumed comes from fish. As our climate continues to change, local species extinctions and/or migrations are likely to result, changing the nature of the fishing industry in affected areas. The impact of climate change on island communities is just one example of how climate change will impact our world in a variety of ways. Unless we are willing to deal with the consequences, we need to take action to decrease our greenhouse gas emissions and slow down the process while we still have time. You can start by contacting your government representatives and letting them know that you stand behind the scientists and environmental advocates that are demanding change. And in order to make a large enough impact, we need our government to step up and take action towards implementing a plan that the whole nation can contribute to.